security situation of Nigeria, do you think it's going to get better anytime soon?
Honestly speaking, I don't think it's going to get better anytime soon.
Why do you say so?
Because it's deeper than what we think. It's deeper than what people see. Because there are a lot of players behind the insecurity going on currently in Nigeria. People that are supposed to fight the insecurity, they are behind it.
Can you tell us some of the things you experience that is making you speak this way?
I'll give an example. In Zamfara, we had an intel about a particular guy that manufactures AK-47. So we got the order to go arrest this person. When we got to the community, we saw this man with more than 50 AK-47.
Wow.
He has lived almost all of his life in Russia. He knows how to manufacture weapons. So we arrested this guy, and 15 to 20 minutes later, we got a call from someone at the top, and we were ordered to release him at that spot. And not just to release him, to escort him back. So we had to let him go instantly.
Wow.
That is just one of the things we face, because as soldiers, we obey orders, we don't question orders. So if we're ordered to do something, we do it. If we're ordered to release somebody, we just follow the orders.
I can't believe this. What are some of the other things you've experienced that has made you conclude that it will be difficult for insecurity to stop in Nigeria?
You know, I've worked with some paramilitary as well. Not just the army. Like, the army is not just responsible for the insecurity in the country. Like, I've worked with paramilitaries, and I have seen a situation whereby police were called that they were robbers, that some robbers were robbing people on the highway, and they received a call not to disturb those robbers.
Are you serious?
Honestly.
Jesus Christ, I find this hard to believe.
That's why I said it's deeper than what people see or people think. If you're not in it, I just feel like insecurity for now is not going anywhere. And sorry to say, it might be getting worse, because nobody is doing anything about it. Kidnappers, they're being paid ransom. Armed robbers, even if they get caught, they'll be released. The system, not just the system, is corrupt.
The system is corrupt.
The system is just so corrupt.
Wow, this is really crazy. So tell us about your experience with the Chibok girls.
I'll say it's a nightmare, because we lost some good people, some good soldiers. When we went to rescue those Chibok girls, this particular place was Damboa. So we went there, and already they knew we were coming. So some of them dashed, they ran away. And the ones that we met, we exchanged fire with them. At some point, they tried using the women as cover.
As shield.
As shield, because they know we will not engage. Though none of the women were killed, but the Boko Harams that we killed, surprisingly, these women were upset with us.
The Chibok girls.
The Chibok girls, the ones we met, they were 21 in numbers. They were crying because we killed their husbands. Because some of them have kids already.
Oh.
Some of them, all of them are married to the Boko Haram there.
Stockholm syndrome.
So they were upset. They were not ready to leave that bush. They were fighting us for killing their husbands. Even when we tried forcing them inside our helos to bring them back to town, they refused. We had to apply force to bring them back.
So the Chibok girls were not even interested to be rescued?
They were not. They were not.
It seems they were really comfortable with this.
They were okay there because
they had fallen in love with the bandits.
I just don't understand the reason why, but we were all surprised because we came to rescue you people. But They were fighting us because we've killed their husbands.
Wow, this is crazy.
The army, soldiers are doing a lot, but people only get to see the negative side on social media. But when it comes to Boko Haram, bandits, and the rest, we've lost so many soldiers. The civil population don't get to feel what we're feeling.
The trauma
and everything.
The things you have to lose. Yeah.
Because for every soldier that has been in Operation Lafia Dole in Borno State, once you leave that bush, you will never be the same. At some point, you will become something you never thought you would be. Probably a monster. Because you have to do some certain things to survive. It's either you kill or get killed. As long as you're posted to Borno State, that's just the only option you have.
So you have to pull the trigger at all times.
You just have to pull the trigger.
So at the point you got involved in military combat, were you disappointed to realize that the structure is corrupt?
Very disappointed.
You didn't know that before now?
I grew up in the barracks, but I never knew
it was deeper
than what I was seeing until I got into the system and I realized that it's just too much. It's just too much. I never thought that. I was in secondary school when Boko Haram started their struggle. I never thought that it would last to the point that I would come and join that fight. Which I did. And till date, Boko Haram is still existing.
Do you think that fight is ever going to end?
I don't know. But I don't think it's going to end anytime soon because a lot of people are benefiting from it. A lot of people are benefiting from it.
There was someone I interviewed. What do you mean by a lot of people are benefiting from it? Do you want to say something about that?
Whenever the government brings money for certain things, those things are not done. The money doesn't get to the right places and the right people, especially for weapons, ammunition, feeding. Certain people benefit from it. And also, when some soldiers die in the bush, the families are not aware that the governments are supposed to pay them.
Oh, so they are supposed to pay the family?
Yeah.
And some of these families don't get any payment.
They don't get any payment.
Like how much is it? Is it supposed to?
I don't know.
You don't know. But they are entitled
They are entitled.
Wow.
Even if you've served just one day in the army and you died in...
Your family is entitled to a certain amount of money.
But a lot of people are not aware. So that money is being paid.
Yeah.
But someone is benefiting
from it.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
So for some people, the whole Boko Haram thing is a means of income to them. And they'll do anything not to stop that income from coming.
Because they are making so much
money from it.
That's crazy. Somebody I interviewed said that he was adopted by Boko Haram and he noticed that Nigerian Red Cross and some NGOs were involved. They were even supporting these Boko Haram people. They would bring them supplies. So I don't know if that statement is true or false.
It's very true.
Are you sure?
We've known about certain NGOs that they will come to our camp, collect information, go to Boko Haram camp, and give them details.
Are you serious?
Yeah. Like, at some point, we had to stop NGOs from coming to the camp. Till date, NGOs don't go to certain places where soldiers are in that Borno State.
They were leaking information.
The numbers of soldiers, the kind of weapons, everything they see, they get to report back to Boko Haram.
Wow, that's crazy.
So it's what that person said, he's right. It's true.
And it's possible these NGOs are making so much money too.
Yeah.
From this insurgency.
They are making money from it too. That's why I said a lot of people are benefiting from it. A lot of people.
Wait, why are these NGOs supporting these bandits, this Boko Haram?
Because It's a means of income to them.
And they give them supplies.
Yes.
Do
There
they
are
think
people that also contribute to these NGOs because so many people have lost their homes. So many people in Borno State don't have a home right now. So many people would donate to these NGOs thinking they are helping these people, but the NGOs are helping themselves. But they still have some NGOs with good intentions.
Yeah.
But most of them are corrupt.
Very corrupt. I've watched some documentaries. I also hear that there are some human rights organizations that think that these bandits and kidnappers, these Boko Haram people, should not be attacked.
True.
You understand that they should be arrested and not executed.
True.
Is that statement true?
Very true. Some human rights, they don't value the lives of soldiers, but they value the lives of these insurgents, Boko Haram. Boko Haram, to them, Boko Haram can kill soldiers, but soldiers cannot just kill Boko Haram. That is the reason why a certain human rights, they sued the army because they felt like the army was killing Boko Haram unjustly. They've sued the army entirely, the chief of army staff. Like, they just feel like soldiers are supposed to not harm these terrorists. We should arrest them and they should follow the proper channel, which they don't. Because we've seen cases where you arrest somebody and the person will come back in a week later with a fresh attack. And most of the time, we don't go to their camp. They come to our camp. They come to our camp. They launch the attack most of the times. Leaving your family behind, you will get to bond with different people, your colleagues. You will bond and have this brotherhood. Or at the end of the day, you might just lose somebody you're talking to in the next 5 minutes.
The feeling of going to war front and then returning alone. You're not returning with your brothers.
Most times, if we're not experiencing an attack when the camp, like those that will be on duty will be on duty, then the rest of us will be playing card, Ludo. Then the next 10 minutes, there'll be an attack. And after the attack, you just realize the person you were playing with is dead.
Chai.
And sometimes the trauma that comes with it is seeing a friend of yours that was shot, but he's not dead yet. Then he's calling you for help. You can't go to him because you will get shot too. Then him dying, your conscience will fight you like you were supposed to go help him. But deep down, you know, once you leave your cover, you will get shot because Boko Haram, they are trained. They have snipers as well. So once you leave your trench, you're done for. Most Nigerians feel like soldiers are just heartless and they don't relate well with civilians, but it's not true. With the level of commitment that I'm not saying this because I'm a soldier, I'm saying this because I have seen the passion, the commitment from a lot of soldiers. Like, we just want this country to be better, peaceful. But it's deeper than us and it's bigger than us. We're only doing the best we can. Soldiers are on checkpoints, VIP escorts, chasing kidnappers, chasing armed robbers, bandits, Boko Haram, everywhere. Even on top of water, you will see Nigerian army there. We're everywhere, just trying to make sure that there is peace.
And there's security
in the country. But it's just a lot of soldiers have lost their life fighting for peace.
What are some things you've done to survive?
At the point I got lost in the bush, after an attack, the attack was so bloody that we had to withdraw. And in the course of withdrawing, we went different ways. We just scattered. And I found myself in the bush alone with just 16 rounds. And at some point, I had to keep one round for myself, that I would rather end it than allow them to catch me alive. So I had 15 rounds in the chamber, in my magazine, then one round in my pocket. That if worse comes to worse, I'll end it because it will be more brutal if they capture me alive. So I was in the bush for 3 days, searching for a way out, and because of thirst, I had to drink my pee. I drank my urine because of thirst, and I got to a point I had no urine in me anymore. I could not pee anything.
No food, no water.
And God so kind, there is no food, no water, nothing. And I passed out the third day. I had no idea where I was. I just passed out. And when I woke up, I was in the headquarters and I was told a Fulani man brought me. He brought me, I was on top of his camel. He carried my weapon and brought me back to our headquarters.
Kidnap and the Boko Haram, are they the same thing?
We believe that, most of the times Boko Haram, they have this disagreement within themselves. They get to break up. Why some will go to another state and form a different thing. Those ones we call bandits. They will leave Borno states, go to other states like Zamfara, Kaduna, Bauchi, and all those northern area, and start kidnapping people for money. Boko Haram, they don't kidnap for money. They don't call for ransom. But bandits, once you break from that group, you're no longer funded. You need to create your own funds.
Your own funds.
So they just dive into kidnapping, collect ransoms, and the way it's going, we think that some of these bandits are now being funded. Some of them are now being funded because you can as a Nigerian, you can commit a crime. It will be very easy to track you. But it's difficult to track a bandit. Tracking of bandits is not the job of the military. Tracking of people is not the job of the military.
Whose job is that?
They know. They know themselves. They know it's their job. And they don't do it because I guess it's bigger than them too. That is the reason why currently you see bandits coming on TikTok, on live video, do giveaway, flaunting their weapons, and nothing will happen to them. But as a regular citizen, just come online and say something off. You'll be tracked and arrested.
Like there was a guy who named his dog Buhari.
Yes, he was arrested.
He was arrested all the way from Anambra State, right?
Yes. Even there was a northern guy that said something about Buhari's wife, that she's getting fat, she's enjoying Nigerians' money. He was arrested that same day.
That same day.
So for Boko Haram for bandits to come on live video, be doing giveaway, flaunting their weapon, flaunting cash, insulting the president, and still nothing happens, that means the system is messed up.
Crazy.
That's just the height of it. It's a slap to the country. The system is just corrupt.
Oh.
And we have a lot of corrupt people in this country. A lot. Because we've had names, we've had requests from certain people not to touch certain people. And you would just be wondering why. But you can't do anything about it. Because as discipline is the bedrock of the military. You have to obey any order. So you don't get to question why you have to release this person. We don't prosecute, we only hand over to police. But we know the outcome. Once we hand over suspects to police, we know the outcome. Just be ready to see that person again. That is why most of the time we prefer ending them than handing them over
to police.
Because you ending them will save a lot of lives.
So it's looking as if police is the most corrupt security agencies in Nigeria.
There are good policemen. But I would say there are a lot of corrupt men in the
Some of them are only
force.
following instructions too.
Yeah.
And it's possible some of the instructions are not even coming within the police force. It's coming from outside.
Exactly.
And there are lots of security agencies in Nigeria
A lot.
that nobody really talk about day to day. We only talk about the Nigerian military, the
Yes.
Nigerian police, Nigerian military, Nigerian police.
Most of the blames are being pushed to the army. Most of the blames of insecurity are being soldiers cannot be everywhere. Soldiers cannot be everywhere. If you go to the barrack, you will hardly see up to 50 soldiers in some barracks because soldiers are outside.
They're outside. They're at every junction.
Every junction.
They're on the streets. They're even doing the job of police.
Police, civil defense, everything. So army were just everywhere.